I will say the fights that took me the longest to feel better was my bare knuckle boxing matches because my hands were swollen for like 3 months.
Yeah, your hands, your jaw was kind of.
I pulled a muscle in my jaw.
That's right. Yeah, your jaw, which is crazy. You pulled a muscle and didn't like break
my jaw. No, I went in because I couldn't open my mouth, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck! If I have like a cracked jaw, the last thing I wanted to do was have my jaw wired shut."
Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to another tantalizing episode of A Kickass Love Story. I'm your host, Austin. We have Paige and Dennis, my co-hosts. And, yeah.
Dennis looks so cute.
He does.
Okay. I have so much for us to talk about.
I do?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a kick-ass love story.
Yes.
I feel like we have been focusing quite a bit on the love story part.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the love story is kick-ass too.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I took a poll from some of our fans, and we wanted to have a fight-forward podcast.
Oh, okay.
We're talking fights.
Okay.
And I have questions from the followers, and I also have stories that I wanted
Relationship fights or like...
Oh, no, MMA
like,
fights.
okay.
like the...
I had to clarify what we were getting into here.
Like the punching in the face kind of fights. because
Gotcha.
We don't punch each other in the face.
No.
We do punch other people in the face.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you got something good for us.
Yes, I do. So I wanted to go back, and I feel like one of the bummers that we didn't have this podcast or this platform earlier is that there's so much that went on in fights, like fight stories that people don't get to hear.
Yes.
And they don't get to know about like what happens behind the scenes and all the crazy stuff we got into in fighting. And
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go back and touch upon some of our favorite fights, our hardest fights, there is actually a few sex questions in here,
Yeah.
obviously. So
I do have one question
Uh-huh.
because it did happen in the fights this last weekend. But does it hurt to get punched in the vagina or to get kicked?
that was one of my questions.
Does it hurt?
Okay.
The same that it would, because it hurts a man.
I know it hurts to punch you in the dick. Yes. Let me preface this.
It's not even the penis part that hurts. It's the testicles.
It is.
Yeah.
Do you know how to make a woman orgasm?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We should ask you this.
Yes, you're very good.
Okay.
What part of the body has all of the nerve endings in females?
Well, from science, and from experiments, I think it's the clitoris.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
That is.
You have no trouble finding it. You're well versed.
And that's located in the vagina.
Vagina.
Okay.
Yes. So the dudes who say it doesn't hurt to get kicked in the vagina are the same dudes who don't know where the clit is.
That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
All of your nerve endings are down there.
Yeah.
So no, do we have a whole package like you do? We don't have a whole lot going on.
Like I said, it's not even really
it's not the dick.
the penile part that hurts. It's the nuts.
Balls.
What I would describe it as is, you take the blow.
Yes.
And at first it just feels like you're probably bleeding everywhere and your nuts have been destroyed and then ever so close after that feeling that it's the stomach ache and you feel like you're gonna puke and
okay,
it's
so
bad.
we don't feel that part of it, but it's more just like you get hit in a part of your body that has a lot of nerves. You know what I mean? So yes, it does hurt to get kicked in the vagina. And yes, women in fighting, or at least in MMA, do get the 5 minutes allotted for a low blow. Yeah. So it does hurt.
What about the milk carts?
No, I've been punched in the tit a lot. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't really hurt.
This is going to be so much TMI for off the jump. Unless like I'm on my period, which you know that.
Yeah.
I have very sensitive titties.
Breasticles.
My chesticles get very sore.
Yeah.
When I'm hormonal.
Yeah.
Luck of the trade. I don't know. Somehow every time I fight, I'm on my fucking period. It's bullshit. I think it's all the like trauma I put my body through cutting weight.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where I'm at in my cycle. I get irregular. I'll start during fight week. But getting hit in the boob feels the same as getting hit anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's fine. But getting hit in the vagina doesn't feel great.
I mean, I would say I've got a solid B cup probably. I mean,
you got a good handful.
And it doesn't hurt.
Mine are looking rather voluptuous in this shirt today.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything, but
but
maybe subconsciously that's why I asked you, because I'm looking at you talking, and that's why I was like, wait, does it hurt to get punched in the boob?
Okay, this is interesting. So I have fake boobs, obviously.
Yeah.
So when I had first started my career,
mine are natural, but
yours are. Oh, yeah. Are they natural?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yes, they are natural
anymore.
They are natural. I've never been even
on a little
sniffed.
Juice.
Never even sniffed juice. Honest to God, I've never even seen like Tren or any of that.
Or all those fun things.
I've never even seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So you are natural.
I will admit there was one time when I was before I even had a fight, I was lifting a lot of weights. I was about to fight.
Yeah.
And I was approached. Actually, I was playing a poker game. We were really drunk, and I had like some doctors there, and we're all playing, and they knew I was getting ready to fight.
And they're like, "Bro, you should get on some sauce."
That's exactly. They were like, "Dude, think about how much of an animal you are right now. We should get you on stuff, bring you into." And at the time, it convinced me. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this." So. This is like 2 a.m, end of the poker game and all that. And then the next day they hit me up, and I wasn't thinking they were going to. I figured, everyone forgot about that.
Yeah, I was just drunk.
They hit me up. Hey, you ready? We got the stuff. And I was like, I can't do it, guys. No. Yeah. So that was the only time I've ever even been close to
even considered or offered.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when I was first starting my career, very flat chested.
Yes.
Very. And in amateurs, it depends on the commission. For females and in boxing, they make you wear a chest cup.
Oh, crazy.
Because maybe they don't want to affect your development or something.
Yeah.
They actually had these like it was like a plastic, like basically a cup that you wore inside of your sports bra to protect your boobs.
What the hell?
And I refused to wear it because it was so uncomfortable. It would like cut my armpits.
Yeah.
And so you know how you walk to the cage and they're like, do you have your mouth guard? Do you have your cup? And you like knock on your
you knock on it.
Knock on your dick to say, yep, knock, cup's there. They did this kind of a similar thing. They're like mouth guard, chest cup, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on.
Funny.
Just pretending.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not like they're gonna look in my shirt and check.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, getting hit in the vagina hurts. The boobs, no.
Okay.
All right. Great way to kick us off.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Okay.
Informative.
Very, very informative. Okay, let's just jump into, since we're on the topic of naughty content, boobs and vaginas.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the superstitions that a lot of fighters have is not having sex before they fight.
Yes.
So a lot of guys will stop having sex. I don't know, like a month before, a week before, the whole fight camp, fight week. I don't know what each person's superstitions are. I know the answer to this, but I'll let you tell everybody.
Yeah.
Do you follow that same superstition?
No, mine has been quite the opposite.
Yeah.
My only two losses that I have are I'm not gonna say because, but the only two losses that I have, we did not make love the night before I fought. So my typical regimen is, I've got a little thing in the industry we call weight cut penis. So
it shrinks up so
yeah,
so
it's not a great visual, but so I have the only thing on my mind is cutting weight, making weight, how hungry, how thirsty. But then as soon as I get done, because it's been, it's been like 5 days of going through this shit. And as soon as I get done, we a lot of times make love.
I would say, every single one of your fights that I have been a participant in.
Yes.
We have made love the day of weigh-ins.
Yes. So
day before the fight.
Yeah.
Except for
my two losses. Yeah, exactly. So, which is funny, because thinking back, like when I first heard about all this was when I was wrestling in college, and our wrestling coach used to tell us, like, all right, boys, it's almost the big one, or it's regions or nationals or whatever, and national duels. And he's like, remember, you guys don't need to be going out and having sex or
spanking it.
Doing all that. And he's like, because, you should be, you want to save everything up. But yeah, I'm not a big believer.
No, I'm not either. And I believe the theory is that you want to save all your testosterone. Yeah. But actually, I believe it is a scientific fact that I've heard on the internet. So who knows if it's true. But the more a man orgasms, the higher his testosterone raises.
Okay.
So, I mean, in theory, you should be doing it
more.
Way more.
Yeah. Well, I know what has worked for me. And so, but I have also heard of gentlemen going like an entire fight camp and all this. I
mean, assume you'd be really like built up and angry at that point. I mean, maybe.
Who knows? Aren't monks like celibate their entire lives? And I mean, there's folks out there, but not for me.
So next fight. We're
right back.
Am I getting lucky?
Yes.
Maybe I have a magic vagina.
We ain't effing around with that anymore.
I've got the magic in me.
Yeah, I get a little more I get some of your energy put into me too.
And you know what? If I try to think about it in a like logical sense, the two of your last fights, you fought a title fight against Gegard Mousasi, such a big deal. I think you were out of your element, like so much. You're just so nervous that being horny wasn't even on your mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I think just I think there's something to be said too about normalizing fight week and fights and not getting like too far out of your regular everyday routines and stuff. So
and just being present.
Being present. So I think for me 100%. I mean, get ready right before my fight.
I'm gonna get railed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's flip that.
Okay.
Do you believe that women can absorb the testosterone of the man? So before I fight, we should do it in the locker room, so I get a little extra testosterone. So you get
a little pump,
a little boost,
a little bit of my especially. Gosh, I mean, I'm not tested now, so I could
just soak up whatever you have left over.
No, I'm not. PEDs aren't for me, but I think. Well, I don't really know.
Is there any correlation for women whatsoever?
I wouldn't think so, but I don't really know how osmosis works and all that shit. Yeah.
I don't know how about all that photosynthesis.
Yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, I took biology 1 in high school. I'm not really.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we could look into it. But
but it's interesting.
I think I'm going to stick to my current schedule. I'm happy with.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way we handle.
Got a good flow.
We got a good flow.
Yeah.
We got a really good flow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I guess this is going to. We could swing this around. A little bit into like what's the mental preparation getting ready for a fight. And I think I do think that fight week we're a little different in our mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
I think going into like fight week, there's like the stress and the nerves in the preparation.
Yeah.
And then for me, I feel like fight week changes because then it's like, all right, business.
Yeah.
So I think I step away from that nervous, should I do this? What am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mean, you and I are different though, because you know me, like I'm not really that big of a stressor about stuff. So I think more so for me, fight week, I do have one thing to focus and stress on, you know, and so I think for me, it's maybe a little bit opposite. You kind of, I could see fight week for you kind of being like
a sense of relief,
somewhat of a break from your everyday stresses. And,
just because I have so much shit going on in my life, and I'm a notorious stressor, like with our house.
With everything.
With Dennis, with absolutely everything in our life.
Everything.
So once I make it to fight week, I have everything else in my life completely taken care of and prepared. And then it's like, all right, I can chill for life and I have one thing to focus on instead of 500 things to focus on.
You literally, that meme was made there. I've seen a meme before, like you wake up at 3 a.m. and you wonder where your birth certificate is and stuff. That
all the time.
What you created that because you literally do that. Like, and it
the other day, not the other day, a few months ago.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I was like, where are my Yeezys?
Oh my gosh. And you woke me up and I was so pissed. And what did I do?
And you got up, you went and pulled them out of the closet and brought them in and dropped them in the bedroom and got back in bed.
Yes. And it's like 3 a.m. You were
so mad.
I was so motherfucking pissed. Like these sneakers, like you have a million sneakers.
I know.
These one pair, she wakes up legit. This is a completely true story. Wakes me up and I'm just like, and I'm one of those people too, like if I wake up in the middle of the night, I have the hardest time. Or if I wake up at like 6 a.m., I'm up. So like whenever I wake up, I'm up, or it takes me 2 hours
to fall back asleep. So I woke up.
Not one of you luxury sleepers who can take 2-hour naps and
I don't choose to take 2 hours naps.
Sleep until 1 p.m.
I was fighting a bug.
I don't know.
Did you not see my face yesterday?
Yeah, I'm kind of throwing her under the bus. What did you do yesterday?
I slept until 1 p.m.
I literally went to practice.
Did you not see my face?
I went to practice. I came back home. I showered. I cooked a meal. And
I roll out of bed at 1 o'clock. I was having an allergic reaction on my face that kept me up all night. My face was on motherfucking fire. And I was like, you know what? If I just sleep, it'll heal.
The funny thing, too, is when we were going to sleep.
I'm going to put videos of my face in this.
Yeah. When we were going to sleep. Good idea. When we were going to sleep, you were on your phone still. And, I mean, we don't go to bed crazy late. We actually, the past... like this week we've been getting into bed at like 10:30. But it was probably like 11:30 or something. You were still on your phone and I rolled over and I was just like,
get off your phone.
Yeah, get off your phone. And you're like, I'm not tired. I'm like, well, get off your phone and try to go to sleep. And I knew it was gonna be one of those nights. And I actually, when I woke up, I had looked at my phone, I got on Instagram, and I saw that she had sent me memes at like 1:30, 2 a.m. I was like, yeah, she stayed up all night.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
When I'm stressing about things, I can't sleep.
Yes.
And just because you're sleeping doesn't mean I have to be asleep.
Anyways, luxury sleeper who can sleep. I don't know that in my life I have ever slept until 1 p.m. I'm being honest. I wake up stressed. That I've slept the day away because I like being awake.
My body needed rest.
No, I know.
I was listening to my body.
But you know what? I do envy your sleeping because that is one thing I wish I was better at.
Yeah.
I genuinely wish I was better at sleeping, and I could like sleep for 10 hours, every once in a while, and like really catch up.
Sleep is so good for you, but also women need more sleep than men do.
Okay, yeah. So
suck it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in the 7 to 9 hour range about every night. 7 to 9 hours.
So am I, but I can, if I choose to be like, I think I want to sleep a little longer, I can make myself fall back asleep.
Yeah.
I am a really good sleeper.
A little TMI, but last night I was having some bowel issues, right? My stomach wasn't.
Oh my gosh! And did I get mad at you for getting up in the middle of the night?
No, my stomach wasn't
shitting in our bedroom.
Treat me really well. For a few days I've had some stomach issues. I digress. Yes, I got up at, I have no idea. It could have been 2 a.m. It could have been 4 a.m. It could have been 1 or midnight. I don't know, but I got up and I sleep with a sleeping mask on because she likes the TV. And I got up because my bowels were barking.
Yeah,
and I had to go to the
and
restroom.
you blew up our bathroom.
And I went and sat down and I kept my face mask on. I actually fell asleep on the toilet for a second. I woke up like, I gotta get back into bed.
I could just see you because we have a squatty potty with your little feet up with your mask on.
I fell asleep on the toilet. True story.
Okay. This is supposed to be a fight podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I was fighting my bowels there.
You're fighting your bowels. All right. All right. So one question specific to me, and then I want to jump into a few more.
Okay.
They want to know how my healing process was after I fought Rose.
Oh, yeah.
So because that was one of the longest, most brutal fights I've been in.
Yep.
I had, my face cut open. It was an absolute dog fight, and it was 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So we went almost the majority of all 5 rounds. I healed really easily, honestly.
Yeah.
So that fight, my face was a little bit messed up, but 10 days and I took my stitches out and I was 100% healed. I think I was able to bounce back relatively quickly. I think fighting has shown me how well your bodies heal.
Yes.
Bodies are meant to heal, and they are really good at it if you give them the proper like help and assistance.
Yeah.
So I put on, my favorite thing is what's that green gel?
Arnica gel.
Yep.
Yep.
Arnica gel. So Arnica, I put it all over my sorry, did you ever watch the Johnny Depp trial when he was on trial against his...
Oh, yes. Yeah, I watched snippets of it. Yeah.
So at one point, this isn't funny. So his wife was saying that Johnny abused him and she had bruises on her face.
Yeah.
And her lawyer is going up to Johnny. Have you ever heard of Amica cream? Do you know what Amica cream does? She kept calling it Amica, but it's Arnica.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. I was obsessed with that trial.
Yeah.
Not Amica cream. It's Arnica.
Yeah.
And it does significantly help your bruising go away.
Yeah. It's a homeopathic remedy.
I live and die by Arnica.
Yeah.
So that one I healed quickly. I will say the fights that took me the longest to feel better was my bare knuckle boxing matches, because my hands were swollen for like 3 months.
Yeah, your hands, your jaw was kind of...
I pulled a muscle in my jaw.
That's right. Yeah, your jaw, which is crazy. You pulled a muscle and didn't like break
my
jaw.
No, I went in because I couldn't open my mouth, and I was like, fuck, if I have like a cracked jaw. The last thing I wanted to do is have my jaw wired shut.
Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to.
Wow. Okay, that took me a second. So I didn't want to have my jaw wired shut.
Yeah.
And I went in and they did like a little x-ray and I had a pulled muscle in my jaw, or like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was able to open it wide enough for you.
Yeah, we tested when that thing was healed. But yeah. Those your
healing from fights.
Yeah.
The other fight,
obviously when you broke your forearm.
Of course, that's like a broken injury, and
those
take a lot of time, healing breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I fought, Alex Chambers, I fought her in Las Vegas, won the fight. It was actually like a pretty, I would say, relatively one-sided fight. I did extremely well in it.
Yeah.
But going home, for whatever reason, my body, I maybe didn't have protein or potassium or something.
Yeah.
I felt like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Every muscle in my body on the flight was cramping and seizing. That might have been the worst my body felt after a fight. But I was also getting a little bit older. Cutting to 115 was getting a little bit harder on myself. So I would say a lot of that issue had to do with my diet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
On recovering after the fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I have some fun questions too.
Okay.
I want to go into who the coolest people are that we've trained with.
Okay.
Now, we have a lot of incredible teammates that we've crossed paths with.
Yeah.
Really cool people we've met along the way. So I have a few stories.
Okay.
And then I have ones I hope that you share.
Yeah.
So when I first started my fighting career, I was training with Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
And Ken.
Yeah, which is cool.
I had absolutely no idea who he was when I stepped into his gym. And I was like, wow, this guy's crazy, because he was like he still had that charisma, because he was also a pro wrestler. When he walked into the room, he like just demanded the room.
Yeah.
Like his presence overtook the room he was in a positive way. Like he's just like, he was that big of a life.
Yeah.
So, I'm with the team for a while. I get close. Eventually, they actually invited a bunch of the team to do a little like camping trip out in it was called Pyramid Lake, and it's in Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
So we go out to the lake, and they had like snacks and stuff. So I go, and they had donuts, and I'm like, oh, a donut. And I go and I eat the donut. And then all of a sudden, I hear everyone panicking, and they're like, who ate Ken's donut? Who ate Ken's? Everyone's freaking out. No. Because I ate his specific donut.
Oh, no way.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
I ate Ken Shamrock's donut.
I ate Ken Shamrock's donut. And I was panicked. And of course he like built it up to be way more than it was.
Yeah.
And like he was like really mad, and it was actually not a big deal. But
yeah.
I panicked.
Oh, that's funny.
But it was because it was the first time I was like an outing with these people.
Yeah.
And anyways, he's fucking Ken Shamrock, and I ate his donut. Okay.
Yeah, you must. So was that the Lions Den?
That was at the Lions Den.
Okay, there must have been a lot of like legends that were training there with you.
A lot, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I would have to go back and look at pictures.
Probably people you don't even like couldn't. That you were training with, that if you saw them now, you'd be like, oh damn,
shit, I was training with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I should go look back at pictures, because that was when the Lions Den was the Lions Den. It was like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So I should definitely go back and try to look for some pictures, because now off the top of my head, I could never tell you.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. So when we were training, I want to get into, so Ed Herman has been a part of our lives for a long time. He's been a teammate of ours. And I have like two funny stories that when I was, planning this podcast, talking about just like funny, like people that we've met along the way.
Yeah.
He's one who came to mind. Now, when I was training in Oregon, I had just moved from Sacramento to Oregon or back. So I'm born and raised in Oregon. Moved out of Oregon when I was 14 and moved to Reno, Nevada. That's where I started training at the Lions Den.
Yep.
Lions Den, the gym shut down, so I moved to Vegas for a year. I tried living in Vegas. I was only 18, so I was out of my element.
Yeah.
Moved to Team Alpha Male. I was at Team Alpha Male for the majority of my career, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back home. So ended up back in Oregon.
Yep.
Training with Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
He was the one who was like, hey, come try my gym. Like, obviously you're ready to be home and back in family. We have a great team that can help facilitate your career.
Yep.
And Ed was one of the training partner, one of the teammates.
Yeah.
So this is a long preface, but me and you start dating.
Yes.
Brand new dating.
Yeah.
Brand new. We drove my Jeep to practice.
Yep.
So, okay, sorry, this is gonna be like a really long preface.
Yeah.
To this. So, okay, so I had a stalker.
Big time stalker.
Big time stalker. Big time. So I'm training, and I noticed this guy just like watching me the whole time. And I'm
when we're in Oregon, right?
When we were in Oregon.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is in Oregon.
Yep.
I'm like, gosh, this guy's just staring at me. And the gym that we were at was relatively small. Although we had Chael and Ed, they weren't used to, or were like keen to pick up on like stalkers, I guess. Like it wasn't like something that they're like, oh, we should watch out because this person might be here to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Instantly I got the vibe where I was like, this guy's fucking weird.
Yep.
Staring at me the whole time, staring at me. I go off the mats. I believe you were training, and
I even said to you at one point, I was like, hey, should I go say something to this guy? And you're like, no,
because I was like, maybe he's a fan. So it's like, you try to be nice and like not, because of course people can be nervous. It was like the prime of my UFC career. Maybe he was just a fan and nervous. But so I step off the mats. It's time for you to spar because it was separate times.
Yep.
And he comes over and starts talking to me. And he's like, hey, like, how are you? Like, I'm so happy to meet you. Or I'm so happy that we're together. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, what's your name? And he's like, it's blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we've been talking on Instagram for years. I was like,
yeah,
what? And he's like, yeah, like we've been chatting on Instagram forever. And I was like, well, what's your Instagram? He gives it to me and I like type it in and I go step in the office. So I go in the back, open the messages. He has been messaging me every single day for like at least 10 to 20 messages per day.
Yeah.
For the last like 4 years.
Crazy.
Every day he would message and talking about how we're meant to be together, about how Allah told him in a dream that we were meant to be together. Yeah. He was thinking about me the entire time he was in jail and how he couldn't be with me. So I continue to read these messages. It goes back to the point I found out he was from Michigan. He moved from Michigan to California. Yeah. He was living in Sacramento and he was a member of Team Alpha Male. And I had no idea.
Really?
I had no idea that he was a member at Team Alpha Male. Yeah. He was taking pictures of me on the treadmill and saying like, you looked so good today. You're working so hard. Like I wanted to come say hi to you, but I was nervous. And he was like, I know we'll be together soon. And so he was working out in the gym and I had no idea who this guy was. I don't remember seeing him because Team Alpha Male was open to public classes. So you could come in and just take kickboxing and you could take conditioning and whatever. Yeah. The public could come use the facility. Yeah. So I had never seen him before. I just like never registered, but he had pictures of me on my bike, pictures of me on the treadmill. And at one point, this is funny. At one point, he's like, yeah, this is again all in Instagram Messenger. Yeah. I was like, I was riding my bike today and I got hit by a car. And he's like, I was on my bike thinking about how I should just give up on you and that we're not meant to be together. But after I got hit by the car, I knew that was a sign from Allah saying I needed to continue to pursue you. So mind you, this is all while I'm living in. He moved from Michigan to California to be with me. Yeah. I moved to Oregon. He moves to fucking Oregon, follows me to Oregon. Yeah. Shows up at the gym. Yep. And that's where I'm seeing all these messages. Yeah. So I'm in a panic. You've never dealt with anything like this.
I'm sparring.
You're sparring. Well, then I pull in.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever dealt with was female sending me topless pictures.
Yes. Sending you
at that point.
The boobs. And you're just like, thanks for these titties, baby.
Yeah.
So I pull in.
Yeah, mine seems a lot more mild than this now.
So I pull in the gym owner and I'm like, hey, this guy's like a stalker. He needs to go. Yep. So he kicks him out. I'm telling you before we leave, and I'm like about kind of what's going on, what happened, the messages. This guy's stalking me again. This is a short period of time. Yeah. So again, this is gonna come back to Ed Herman, I promise.
Oh yeah.
So me and you get done sparring. Our gym owner sends the guy away, says he's not welcome to come back, or revokes his membership. Yep. We go out to the car. You get into the driver's seat and I'm in the passenger seat. Yes. This guy's waiting for us in the fucking parking lot. Yes. Walks up to you and says, like, I know you're with Paige, but I'm meant to be with her and she will be mine one day. Yeah. So you had just broken your hand.
I broke my hand, ironically, that day.
Broke your hand in practice. So the way it was, I was in the passenger seat, so I was closest to him. Yeah. And you were, you had to, so then here you go. You're like, all right, here I go.
I'm just like, what in the fuck? Yeah, we go out to the Jeep. We get in and I've got this. I still have the lump on my hand right there. I broke my hand. I'm like in pain, like thinking, okay, let's just get home. And so, like, and then great. This guy comes up and says
now I gotta beat this guy's ass.
And I'm just like, what in the fuck? I actually was like stunned. And to the point where I was like almost speechless, like, what in the fuck did this guy just say?
For him to walk straight up to you and us and say like, hey, what's up? Like, I know you're with Paige now, but me and her are meant to be together and we will be together one day. Yeah. And so
this guy is this skinny little like twink. Yeah.
So
hey, jeez.
So, but before you could even get out of the car, Ed Herman overheard.
Ed was in the parking lot.
He's in the parking lot, heard the whole thing, walks up to the guy and goes, listen, you motherfucker, you have to the count of 3 to get the fuck off the property or I'm beating your ass.
Yeah.
And he is Ed, short fuse Herman.
Yeah.
He just went off. Was like,
oh
you
no,
he
threatens him, and then he's like, 1,
2,
2, and then the guy's like,
okay,
yeah.
and leaves. And so like Ed scared the shit out of this kid because Ed's a big guy.
Yeah.
And this guy was very, very, very small.
Yeah.
So Ed was going to beat his ass in the parking lot.
The funny part about this is Ed was pissed that the guy even gave him to the count of 2.
He's like, I can't believe that fucker gave me to the count of 2.
I can't believe that. Yeah, he was mad that the guy even let
him get to 2.
Oh, it was so funny.
So Ed scared away my stalker.
Yep.
And I have yet to hear from him again.
Yeah,
so,
that was crazy.
And that might have been the end of that.
Yeah, gosh damn it.
Safe to say I purchased a gun right after that.
Yeah,
so just
well,
gotta keep myself protected.
Yeah, crazy.
But
yes, we have some other really fun. Ed has been so talking about like some of my favorite and just like most memorable training partners and stuff. I would say definitely earlier on in my career, training in the Pacific Northwest with, I'm just starting off. I'm training with Chael, with Ed. Yushin Okami came in to do a camp, and I sparred a lot of rounds with him, like getting him ready for a fight and stuff. So I think for me, it was like the older school guys, like the guys that I really had watched, in the UFC and stuff, are the ones who were like fun for me to be able to think back and be like, yeah,
damn, I trained with that guy.
I did a little bit of stuff with them, and I'll bet it was in more like the twilights of their careers, still fun to be able to, be there. Rick Story. And so actually Ricky Story and I wrestle at the same college, and a quick little crazy tidbit about him. His freshman year, he didn't win a single college wrestling match. His senior year, he was a national runner-up. So he went from not winning a single match his freshman year. He was like 0-20 something to making it to the national finals this year. So
that's like, that just shows you like dedication can take you really far.
Yeah. So, anyways, we have a lot of fun Ed stories, probably not necessarily appropriate ones.
Can't share all of them.
Yeah. He and I had some crazy.
We did have a really fun time when you cornered Ed in Moncton, Canada.
Yes.
And when we think back on like some of our favorite trips we've ever been on, for whatever reason, we had the best fucking time in Moncton, Canada. The best time. The fans were incredible. Yeah. The food was great. The experience just being there with Ed was so much fun. You guys getting hammered after his fight. But this is funny how things come full circle. So Marvin Vettori was getting ready for a fight against Anthony Smith, right?
No, he was, I think he was there cornering somebody as well.
Okay, so he wasn't fighting on the card.
No.
But it was in Moncton. He was there cornering. We were just there. You were cornering. I was there just, with you. Mm-hmm. And we ended up getting hammered in this little bar with Marvin.
Little Irish pub.
In a little Irish pub. Got super drunk with him in this pub, just having a blast.
Yeah.
And then now he's your teammate.
Yeah. No, he just moved down here to Florida, and
one of your main training partners now.
Awesome. Yeah, like awesome guy, really a stud. For him moving here, I think is gonna be so good for his career, because if you looked at Marvin and the way he fights and his style, if you would say if he could improve on one thing, it'd be his grappling. And just in like 1 month of training here, training with me and with Johnny and all the guys he's like gotten, so I'm really excited for him to fight again, because he's
next one.
Awesome dude, great training partner, goes hard, like one of those really, really good training partners. So it's funny how it all comes
how
full
he walks
circle.
in and be like, hey, remember that time we got
I was like, dude, remember
drunk in Canada?
We got hammered in that little Irish bar. And cool guy though, for sure.
And it's just so funny how like for whatever reason you just connect with certain people, and it just happened that we were like, oh, Marvin.
Yeah.
All right, so I have more questions for us.
Okay.
Now, this is one I definitely have a story for. I don't know that you will.
Okay.
Not sure. Somebody asked, have I ever been scared of an opponent?
Oh, okay.
Now, this one for me is the absolute yes.
Yeah.
I would say I'm scared of almost every fight that I get into. But at the beginning of my career, I fought Tisha Torres on Invicta.
Yeah.
Awesome fight. At that time, so Bellator went through a phase where they had females, then they cut their whole female division, and then they brought it back. So during that period, Felice Herrig was the champion for Bellator.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
So she, at Invicta, was walking around with her belt. I got to meet her. I got to take a picture with her. She was so nice. I was like, damn. I looked up to her. I'll put the picture in. This picture is epic.
Yeah.
It's me, Rose, Boss Rutan.
Funny.
Felice Herrig, and then another girl that I used to train with who now fights for the PFL, actually.
Oh, crazy.
So, epic experience meeting her. She couldn't have been more friendly. Got a picture with her just because I looked up to her for so long.
Yeah.
As like a female fighter. It was who I aspired to be because she was cute and she still like was super girly. So, come full swing. I get matched up to fight her in the UFC.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was so scared because I looked up to her for so long and I was like, I'm fighting this legend. She has an insane amount of fights.
Yeah.
Between kickboxing, MMA, her whole career. So I take the fight and I'm like, damn, this is scary. Before the fight, I even contemplated breaking my own arm. I was like, if I break my arm, I don't have to fight her.
I haven't experienced that.
You haven't experienced that. I was like, all right, maybe I'll just crash my bike. Maybe I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because she was just so talented. And I was like, I just didn't have the confidence.
You were making that next jump up in competition.
It was the big jump in competition for myself.
Yep.
So at this point, I was like, all right, I'm pulling out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
My nerves had gotten the better of me. I ended up going out with a group of friends and it was somebody's birthday party. So we're all filming. Someone filmed me taking a shot for the birthday party. This is 2 weeks before the fight.
Oh, dang.
In my mind, I wasn't going to fight. Then somehow someone sent her the video of me taking a shot.
Yeah.
She posted it on Facebook.
Oh, boy.
And was like, I hope my opponent actually shows up. She's out partying, blah, blah, blah. And, talking shit. And I was like, no, it is a bad look. And I was so embarrassed. I convinced my mom. I was like, Mom, let's do a social media fast. I convinced my mom to turn off her social media.
Yeah. And
that we were both fasting from social media so she wouldn't see the video.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
okay.
Sorry, Mom. She did not know that until now.
Yeah.
So anyways, I ended up taking the fight, making it so we're in the locker room, still petrified. Now, my cornerman or my commissioner that was in the locker room with me was a female. Yeah. And so we just get to talking. You're in the locker room for a really long time before the fight. Yep. We get to talking and she was like, yeah, actually, I fight too. And I used to. I'm retired. And she was a little bit older than me. And I was like, no way. I was like, you fight? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, I didn't know if I should share it, but I actually fought Felice too. Oh, she's like, damn. I fought Felice in kickboxing. Yeah. And I was like, no way. I'm about to go fight her. My commissioner has fought her. I was like, okay, well, did you win? And she was like, I did. Yeah. I beat her. And that right there from the commissioner gave me the fucking confidence because my commissioner was like, just this cute girl. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is a sign from God. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win. Yeah. And I did. I won all 3 rounds. Yeah. It was an incredible performance by me. I will say it's one of my favorite fights ever. Yeah. Just because it was it's just shitty when it's someone you look up to for so long starts talking shit about you and becomes obviously we were fighting each other. So yeah, I've definitely been
Dang, that's
I've been
crazy.
Terrified to fight before. And that was one of the moments. And the commissioner in my locker room was like, yeah, you can do this. Yeah. I fought her. I won. You can too.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
To the point where you were going to break
I was going to break my own arm, which I'm very happy, obviously, that I didn't.
Yeah.
So I think we can skip that one for you. I don't know that you've ever been that scared of an opponent.
No, I've never been that afraid. No, I've never been afraid of an opponent like that. But I have been fearful of going into a fight feeling not 100% and fearful of my performance and stuff like that. But I think the normal
amount.
Yeah, normal stuff.
This isn't from a fight, but I don't know if we were together or not yet. I don't think so. So, I was still in the transition period of where I wanted to train.
Yeah.
And I went to Huntington Beach.
Okay. Yeah.
This was obviously a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I show up in Huntington and I'm like, all right, I should train. So lo and behold, Chris Cyborg reaches out to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you're in Huntington. Come spar with me. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to spar you.
Yeah, let's have a spar.
But she was really nice in the messages on Instagram and she's like really friendly. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come train. So I showed up.
Yeah.
And I sparred. She went so easy on me.
Yeah.
And then Perillo, and I was able to work with her and Perillo, but that was the only other time. And I was like, I'm showing up to meet Chris fucking Cyborg alone. I have nobody. And
you've never met her before.
I had never met her before. And I'm showing up by myself, no team, to go train with Chris Cyborg.
Yeah.
She's Chris fucking Cyborg. Like,
as far as female fighters go, yeah,
that's one of the most terrifying ever. Yeah. So I showed up by myself and she couldn't have been more nice.
Yeah.
Jason Perillo, incredible coach.
Yeah, like, great boxing coach.
So
it was just in Cheeto Vera's corner this last weekend. Yep.
Incredible coach. So it was actually a really, really good experience. Yeah. She did not beat my ass. And I had a lot of fun training with her. So
yeah, we did make another trip there.
We did.
Though, and we both trained with Jason and at the Ruka gym.
At Ruka,
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome coach.
Yeah, awesome really coach. But I will say that was the other time I was very nervous to go show up and train. I'm like, this could be really bad.
Yeah.
This could be terrifying. So those are the only I guess really scared moments that I had in my fighting career that I can think of.
Yeah.
All right. This one's more of I guess a fan question, but as a
Hit
fighter,
me with it.
Who is your Mount Rushmore of fighters?
Who, my Mount Rushmore?
Let's say you have to pick 4.
I have to pick 4.
Yep.
Okay.
I know, maybe let's come with a list that we can agree upon.
Okay.
So, up there, you have to put John Jones.
Yes.
John Jones.
Yep.
First person on Mount Rushmore of fighters.
Yes. Yep.
I think he transcends just current era.
Yes.
He's been, pretty untouchable for a very long time.
Yeah.
Gosh, if we want to throw a female up there, I feel like I need to have a whole female division.
Yeah, there's got to be a male and female. But number 2, George St. Pierre.
Yep, GSP.
Number 3 for me,
I have Demetrius Johnson on mine.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Number 3 for me isn't necessarily because he was the most talented, although very good, and I'm also a homer, but I put Chael up there.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was really the guy who started the shit talking and even the WWES.
Just a pioneer for MMA.
Yeah, in the selling the fights and doing that, it was like he did it and then Connor did it and now everybody does it and stuff. But I just don't think that his could be as replicated because he's so smart and so witty.
Yes.
And he does it smart. In a semi-tasteful,
comedic. I would say his is a comedic way.
Yes, exactly. And,
whether it's tasteful or not, it's funny.
Yeah, the absolute best one was the Tito Ortiz.
Oh my gosh.
One, how wasn't that so good?
That's the best. I have to throw up as a fan.
Yeah.
Just as a fan. On my Mount Rushmore would probably be Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough to.
It's hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, and then you can't discredit to what Conor McGregor has done for the fight, sport. And the way he's done it as well has been It's tough. I don't know. I'd have to really think
to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Okay. In the comments, we want to hear everybody else's Mount Rushmore fighters. Let's do a male and a female bracket.
Yes.
Top 4 in each one.
Yeah.
I would say for female Mount Rushmore, for me, Cyborg's on there.
Yep.
Amanda Nunes.
Yep.
Got to put Rhonda for everything she's done for the sport.
Yeah.
She was definitely a pioneer in getting women's MMA popular. I think that Valentina Shevchenko is one of the best strikers ever.
Yeah. See,
her timing is fucking incredible.
Yeah. I think I'd go Joanna over Valentina, just because I feel like,
you know, that Joanna's been beat by Valentina at least twice.
Yeah, but I feel like when Joanna was like at her prime, and so it was like you would look at her and like, that's the scariest female fighter.
Yes.
Like,
okay.
I agree. Yeah, Valentina maybe skillfully would, you know, beat you, but I think of you know, the way they transcend the sport in the way, and I just think like Joanna's. Yeah, it was
okay. I would say my top 5.
Okay.
Joanna.
Yeah.
Valentina.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes. Chris Cyborg.
Yeah. Ronda. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah. If I'm being unbiased.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Probably my top females.
Yeah, and I would have to narrow down my top 5 without any biasness and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
I do want to hear what fans have to say, because I think it's interesting.
It is, for sure.
It's like trying to decide if fame has anything to do with your top ones. Because when I talk about Demetrius Johnson, although he wasn't the most famous in the UFC, his record's impeccable.
Oh, for sure. And you also too, you got to think about like, it's tough to really say like who's the best, because I actually believe in this, and I've heard this said before, and I do in a sense kind of believe it. Like, as good and as dominant as George St. Pierre was, he was a little ahead of his time, and I don't know that he would be able to be as dominant in today's MMA and today's UFC. You know, obviously he's one of the greatest of all time, and all that, but yeah, when you like really think, and I mean, that's just going to happen as we continue on in the sport, because
people are going to get better and better and better.
The level of talent is just going to continue to rise. And it's like, you know, looking at this Ilya Taporia guy right now, it's like you look at him and you're like, how the hell does anybody beat him? His wrestling's phenomenal. His boxing, he's probably got the best boxing in MMA right now. Like, yeah. And I mean, Sean O'Malley, like his striking this last was
really good. Let's talk about Sean O'Malley.
The way he utilized his feints,
when he came onto the scene, it was like when they're like, okay, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Like, and then he started pulling ahead of the pack, and he looked incredible.
It is insane the way he utilizes his kicks, his range, like switching stances, his feints, his movements. It was really good. Crazy.
All right, one last, because I have a story for the question.
Okay, cool.
One last fan question for us. Favorite fight finish that you have ever had? I know mine.
Okay.
Would you like to go first though? Mine comes with a story.
Yeah, I mean, favorite fight finish.
I can let you think about it.
Yeah, okay. I sliced that one dude up. It was a little anticlimactic because they stopped it. Yeah, they stopped it. And so it was like I had no idea the fight was over.
Oh
and then
my
it was
gosh!
Over.
Yes, that fight. So I was in your corner for that fight.
Yeah,
you brutalized this guy. Yeah. Just sliced his face open with elbows. And you had won the first 2. Really bloody fight, but the guy was a very good striker. So you come over to the corner and I'm panicked. I'm like, all right, he's gonna come out really heavy and strong. Stay composed, because like he needs to knock you out to win. Like stay composed, because he's gonna like come out swinging. And then they had already waved the fight off. And I'm over here just like,
and I'm telling you, I'm like, no, babe, the fight's over. No, and you're over. Like,
it's over.
Yeah, you're like,
no, listen, you have to.
You thought I was just being arrogant, like, nah, this fight's over. It was like, no, babe, the fight's over.
No, I really thought you were just being arrogant, like saying like, no, it's over. And I'm like, focus, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
And the fight was over. Yeah, so that was funny.
Okay, tell me yours.
So obviously in my career, I had a pretty cool switch kick knockout on Beck Rawlings.
Yep.
So, okay, wow, this is going to take us on a world. Okay, so I had just come off Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I got signed to do a movie.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in the Kickboxer movie. signed it. They wrote a part for me in the movie. It was really, really exciting. The shoot date kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and I had already accepted a fight.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, it's just like closing in. I, at that point, needed to choose either be in the movie or take a fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just, I had lost to Rose. I went on Dancing with the Stars, and I was like, no, I want to fight.
Yeah.
Coming out of Dancing with the Stars, I was ready to get another fight. So I pulled out of the movie, and I was just had to apologize and say, like, I'm sorry, like, but the date got pushed back. I really want to take this fight. So take the fight. Full swing. They cast me in the new Kickboxer again.
The movie you were
the movie I was
about.
Supposed to be in. This is the sequel, and I will be filming it in April.
Yeah, exciting.
Super exciting. So it came back around.
Yeah.
So thank you, Lord. Okay, but so I take the fight. I had been training. I was at Team Alpha Male at this point. So TJ comes in, and he's teaching these kicks, and he called it the kick the can. And I had so much fun drilling it in practice, and TJ taught the striking class. So TJ Dillashaw is teaching the class. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I was just having so much fun in the class because I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. And I caught on so quickly. Yeah. So I'm training in preparation for the fight, sparring. I was sparring Uriah Faber. And I landed it on him, and I kicked him straight in the fucking face. It was a really good one. Yeah. So I was like, this is how I'm going to finish my fight. After I kicked him in the head, I was like, I could do this.
Really?
So then I get into the fight. My corners, I believe Justin Buckles was in my corner. So I'm throwing all this spinning stuff. I really, in my mind, I had manifested that I was going to land that kick. Yeah. So I'm throwing this spinning stuff. Back at one point is like, mocking me and laughing at me in the middle of the round. Yeah. Stayed composed. Second round, I'm in the corner, and Buckles was like, stop with all the fucking spinning shit. Like, go out there and fight. And like told me, like, brutally was like, stop, because it wasn't working. Yeah. Until the finish.
Reminiscent of this last weekend when Mike Brown was telling Dustin,
no more guillotines.
No more guillotines.
The first thing he does guillotine. That's how mine was. Is Justin was like, stop with the fucking spinning shit. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, all right. Boom, go out there. I hit the switch kick, knockout. The one that TJ Dillashaw taught me that I landed in practice. Buckles told me to stop doing. Yeah. I go out there and I knock her out with it.
That's so cool.
And that was obviously a highlight reel knockout, epic. So cool. I will forever have that memory. Yeah. And then I was just got to have them. Oh my gosh. And that was in Vancouver, Canada. Yeah. Vancouver, Canada. So I'm on the bus getting ready to go to the arena. Sorry, this is another little story. I'm on the bus getting ready to go to the arena. None of my corners are on the bus. And I'm like, where the fuck are my corners? I have Owen, Buckles, and I believe Chris Holdsworth cornering me. I believe I had those three. I can't remember entirely, but they were late to the bus because they got into a fight with a homeless man. And Owen, I think, kicked the guy in the head.
Oh, jeez.
And cut him open. They got into this like big brawl and almost weren't let on the bus because they got in a fight.
That's so funny.
And so like they are fighting. I'm on the bus trying to go to the arena.
Trying to fight.
None of my corners are with me. And that's because they got into a fight right before I was supposed to head to the arena.
Crazy.
And luckily the UFC people were nice because they didn't need to let them on the bus. Yeah. They just got into a fight right outside of the arena, or right outside of the hotel.
Yeah. Crazy.
So that was my favorite fight finish.
Well,
I had a lot of stories for you today.
Yeah, I think we got through it. I kind of want to go fight now.
I do too. Yeah. No, I got to go to the gym. I'm cramping over here. Yeah. I did front squats yesterday, and I'm a little uncomfortable.
Well,
all right. Those are my fight questions. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else important to ask. There's a few questions we didn't necessarily get to today, but
we'll have to save for the next.
We have more podcasts coming up. So this is a Kickass love story.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, share. We are on YouTube. We're on OFTV. We're on iHeartRadio and Apple and Spotify and Deezer. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, comment. We do want to know your Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters because that could change ours.
Yes.
But thank you guys. That was another episode of a Kickass love story. We're out.